And initially, I didn't believe the Saints were going to be a playoff team. And then I watched, like we all watched, what Jameis was able to do as he gets a hold of this offense. And so that's number one. But number two, like defensively, no one's talking about the Saints' defense. Like their defense carried them. That's a top 5 defense in the NFL. Then you get a Jameis who's throwing for 5,000 yards. 2019, we saw 5,000 yards. We saw 30-plus touchdowns. We also saw 30 interceptions. You get rid of those interceptions, that team is still confident that they are the division leaders. We were on here a couple weeks ago. I was talking with Cam Jordan, a defensive star, and he said, I was talking about Tampa Bay. He said, hey, let me remind you, brother, we won the division last year with Tom Brady. We're still the division champs. So conversations like that, like hearing guys in that locker room, Malcolm Jenkins, guys like that, DeMario Davis, like they're not letting go of that division anytime soon. Jameis, yes, he will be better. This team, yes, will make the playoffs. And so I think that sometimes it's not just about your quarterback. It's about the people around you, the culture, the scheme, the defense, and then that confidence. Like I've never heard a team so confident as I've heard with the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, for me, I'm a little torn. I'm a little torn because I'm not entirely convinced they are definitely a playoff team. And it's not entirely because of Jameis. I think his whole career, as that graphic showed us, the highs and lows. The 30 for 30 that we're used to, those 88 interceptions since 2015. But also, guys, the division. If we're to believe Acho was talking about how confident the Saints are. The Panthers, a team that feels very confident in Sam Darnold. They feel that they're going to be a lot better. So if we're supposed to believe how confident teams are saying they are, then their team in that division that could give the Saints some trouble. I'm not saying they win the division. But when you look at the rest of the NFC, 49ers, the Packers, the Washington football team, who yesterday Acho said was not going to win the division, but beat the Cowboys in the first round. So that's a team, too, that we have to watch. The Cowboys, the Seahawks, the Bucks. Like, there are a lot of teams in the NFC. So, yes, will the Saints compete for the playoffs? Yes, I can't today say, yes, they will definitely be a playoff team. I just do not know.
Man, Kimberly Martin just on here hedging her bets.
I'm trying to be a little bit more positive, RC. I'm trying to be a little bit more positive, like a certain somebody.
The Saints can compete, but I'm not going to say they're going to make it.
Oh, we doing that? Watch out for this now.
Wow.
Okay.
So I get what Kimberly's saying when you mention the Panthers, right? They're confident in Sam Darnold. Well, let me tell you, we ain't never seen Sam Darnold do nothing good, right?
I said the Panthers are confident because Acho's talking about the Saints and that defense. Hey, don't forget about us. So just because players say, don't forget about us, now we got to be paying attention to what players say. So I'm telling you, the Panthers say that they are very confident.
Because here is why the Saints defense is confident. It's confident because they didn't went out there and put it on film. We know what they are. We know what Malcolm Jenkins is. We know what Williams is. We know what Lattimore. We know what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is. DeMario Davis. We know these folks. We know Cam Jordan. We have seen this, and we've seen it year after year after year. The reason that this team is not in the Super Bowl, other than a terrible call or a terrible missed call in the NFC Championship, was Drew Brees. That Drew Brees was bad in the playoffs. I mean, people didn't want to admit it then because he was Drew Brees, but he stunk it up. He couldn't push the football down the field. This defense has been championship caliber the last few years, and I believe they will be again this year. Also, what we haven't mentioned this entire show, and I guess it is because, you know what, out of sight, out of mind, is Alvin Kamara still plays football. Alvin Kamara is still alive. And last I checked, he's one of the top 3 backs in the league, especially when you're talking about guys that can do it in the run and pass. And what have we always said about Sean Payton? Sean Payton finds a way to get the most out of the dude that's playing quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater, 5-0. Taysom Hill, 3-1. And now he gets an opportunity to work with Jameis Winston, who probably, of the quarterbacks he's gotten the opportunity to coach the last 3 years, right, and what they are and what they were at the time, this is the best quarterback he's going to get the coach. Let me not say best. He's the most talented quarterback Sean Payton has coached over the last 3 years. We do understand the turnovers, but we've also seen Jameis be good before. And so when we're talking about confidence and confidence in the fact that you've done it before, the Saints have that. And because of that, and because of the pride, and because of what I feel like they understand is the adversity that will be facing them, this becomes a playoff team. 7 get in, and I believe they're one of those 7.
Yeah, I'm with that. I think that, all the teams that we named earlier, Kimberly, those teams can make it, but also it's 7 teams that can make it. And so New Orleans, once again, going to Sean Payton, just what, like he knows how to exploit matchups, period. Alvin Kamara, matchup problem. Jameis Winston using his strengths, matchup problem. But also, when you've won the division 4 years straight, last year, when Tampa Bay signed Tom Brady, people said, man, Tampa Bay is going to be a problem. And last year, when Tampa Bay played New Orleans mopped them up easily during the regular season. We all know what happens in the postseason. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about winning the division. New Orleans is not intimidated or scared or frustrated by Tampa Bay, by Carolina, by the Atlanta. Nobody. In their minds, they are the division champs because the proof is in the pudding. They don't have to talk about I believe. They got the history. They got receipts.
So, a wise gentleman said earlier on this show, guys, sometimes we can get on TV and not have to act like we know the future. And I feel like that was Ryan. I feel like that was
First
RC.
off,
And
I
that's
sure
what I'm
as
saying.
hell don't sound like that.
Oh my gosh.
You're not finna greenie me. Nah.
So that's why I say, listen, I said earlier, this is an opportunity for Jameis. We know the Saints defense is good, right? But the question is the offense. No Michael Thomas right now. Don't know when he's come back. What's his situation? Marquez Callaway, he's been good in the preseason. Can he be that guy, that little bright spot during the season? Sure, we need to see it. And we need to see Jameis be the guy that can throw 5,000 yards and throw touchdowns without turning over the football. We still need to see it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.